Do you ever have a moment so small, so seemingly ordinary, that it changes everything? I'm talking about a hug. Not just any hug, the way you respond to it. Because here's the truth, most people hug out of habit. It's mechanical, it's forgettable, but if you know how to respond to a hug, if you know how to lean into that moment with presence, warmth, and subtle emotion, you create a memory that imprints on someone's heart. This isn't about being fake. This is about being intentional. Because the way you respond to a hug speaks volumes. It tells him, I see you. It says, I feel safe with you. And when you know how to respond in that way, you become unforgettable. When it comes to creating a moment that lingers in someone's mind, it's rarely about what you say. It's about how you make them feel. A hug is one of the most intimate forms of nonverbal communication. It bypasses words and speaks directly to the nervous system. The key to making a hug unforgettable isn't in being overly dramatic or exaggerated, but in tuning into the energy of the person in front of you. Matching his energy, then softening it gently, is a powerful way to create emotional resonance in that moment. Most people either freeze, rush through the hug, or give too much too quickly. But when you first match his energy, meaning you're reading how tightly he's holding you, how close he's leaning in, how long he seems comfortable staying, you're letting him know without saying a word, I'm here with you, I feel this too. Once you've matched his rhythm and tempo, you introduce a gentle softness into your body language. This subtle shift does something remarkable. It invites him into emotional safety. It tells him that he can exhale, be present, and feel understood in this silent exchange. That slight change, from neutral to warm, from guarded to open, creates contrast, and contrast is what makes moments stand out. In a world where physical contact is often rushed or impersonal, your ability to tune in and then soften creates something rare. It's like telling him, this isn't just a hello or goodbye. I'm letting you feel seen. This softening doesn't mean going limp or passive. It means you allow your shoulders to relax, your arms to lightly mold into his frame rather than stiffly sitting on his back. It's a confident kind of surrender. You're not just reacting, you're choosing to make the hug more meaningful. It's this choice, this intentional presence that sends a message loud and clear. You're not afraid of intimacy, you're comfortable with connection, and you're not playing games. Men notice this more than they'll ever admit. A woman who can meet his energy and then gently lead it into a softer, more emotionally charged space stands out. She isn't clingy, but she isn't cold. She's responsive. She listens with her body. And that's a deeply magnetic quality. Most people move through life half present, but when you're there, truly there, in a hug, he feels that. It anchors you in his memory because the emotional undertone of that moment becomes associated with you. This kind of attentiveness makes him pause internally, even if the hug lasts only a few seconds. That pause, that emotional opening, is the moment you become unforgettable. A hug, by nature, is fleeting. It begins, it ends, and people usually move on without thinking twice about it. But what if the way you hold on, just for a moment longer than expected, became the very thing that made someone stop in their tracks and remember you? There's something incredibly powerful in not rushing the end of a connection. Most people follow a script. Quick embrace, tap on the back, pull away. But when you allow the hug to linger just slightly, you're doing something psychologically and emotionally impactful. You're breaking the script, and in doing so, you're creating emotional space where he can actually feel something deeper than the routine. The key is to let the hug last just long enough to be noticeable, but not so long that it feels awkward. That extra beat, that brief hesitation before letting go, creates a subtle tension, and in that tension, intimacy is born. It tells him without a word that you're comfortable being close. It tells him this moment matters to you, and more importantly, it gives him the permission to feel it too. People crave moments that feel real, and one of the easiest ways to make a moment feel real is by not rushing through it. Holding on just a little longer also shows confidence. It says you're not trying to escape the moment, and you're not afraid of emotional closeness. It suggests you're grounded, emotionally present, and aware of your own effect. That extra second sends a message. I'm here. I'm not in a rush, and I'm okay with you being this close to me. That kind of calm presence is intoxicating because it contrasts the fast-paced, distracted energy most people bring into interactions. You're telling him that you're in the moment, not somewhere else in your head, not worried about what comes next, just here. There's also a deeper layer to this. When you let the hug last a moment longer, you create emotional safety. It gives the other person a second to settle in, to feel the warmth of your presence, and to register that this interaction is more than just surface level. It becomes a mini experience, something his body will remember, even if his mind tries to brush past it. That kind of impact is rare. It's like the emotional equivalent of adding a pause to a beautiful song. The silence makes the next note more powerful. By stretching the hug ever so slightly, you're amplifying its emotional weight. This simple choice has the power to turn an ordinary greeting into a defining memory. He might not even consciously realize why the hug felt so different, but he'll feel it. He'll carry it. He'll compare it. And whether he's aware of it or not, he'll start to associate that feeling with you. Subtlety is often where real emotional power lives. When it comes to a hug, many people think it's the duration or the pressure that makes it meaningful, but what often leaves the deepest mark is a small, intentional gesture that adds emotional color to the moment. A subtle touch. A hand gently resting on his neck, fingertips brushing his back, a slow slide of the palm along his shoulder can shift the energy of a hug from friendly to unforgettable. It communicates care, warmth, and presence in a way that words never could. These small, seemingly insignificant touches are often what people remember long after the moment has passed. Using touch intentionally doesn't mean being overly sensual or exaggerated. It's about being aware of how your body moves and connects in that brief space of time. For example, a soft squeeze at the end of a hug can say, "I meant that." A slow open palm against his upper back can convey calm and comfort. These aren't just gestures, they're emotional cues. They bypass his logic and speak directly to the part of him that longs for genuine connection. This is especially impactful because so much of male experience is built on emotional restraint. When someone touches him with genuine intent, not out of obligation but from presence, it lands in a different place. Subtle touch also reveals your emotional intelligence. You're not rushing to pull away, nor are you being performative. You're showing that you're attuned to the moment. You're paying attention not only to how he feels, but to how you want to express yourself without words. It's in that attention that the magic happens. He won't just feel hugged, he'll feel seen. He'll feel chosen in that tiny, delicate gesture that said, "You're worth this." There's a kind of quiet power in that. In a world where physical connection can often be fast, mindless, or disconnected, your ability to add softness, warmth, an intentional touch to a hug becomes a rare signal. It's disarming. It puts someone at ease and creates emotional texture in what would otherwise be a flat moment. He may not even know what felt different, but his body will respond. He'll feel safer, more open, more drawn to the energy you bring. You won't need to say anything because your presence, expressed through that subtle, deliberate touch, already said everything. And what's most striking is that it never feels forced. That's the beauty of subtle touch. It's not loud, it's not showy. It's just there, perfectly timed, effortlessly natural. It flows with the moment and enhances it rather than overpowering it. That kind of interaction is magnetic because it stands in stark contrast to the overdone or the indifferent. It tells him, you're not trying to impress, you're not trying to manipulate, you're just feeling, and letting that feeling show gently through your fingertips. The way your body responds during a hug speaks volumes, often louder than words ever could. When you relax your body, you're sending a powerful subconscious message. I feel safe here. I'm comfortable with you. I'm open to this moment. Most people don't realize just how much tension they carry in their shoulders, arms, and back during even the most routine physical interactions. That tension becomes a barrier, a physical and emotional wall that the other person can feel instantly. But when you consciously release that tension and allow your body to soften into the hug, you invite connection instead of resistance. Relaxing your body is not about being passive or overly vulnerable, it's about confidence. It's a demonstration that you trust yourself and that you're present. You're not trying to control the moment, not trying to escape or calculate how long the hug should last. You're simply being in the moment, and your relaxed posture reflects that grounded presence. It makes the other person feel like you're not performing. You're just there with them. Fully. That feeling of she's really here with me is rare, and when it's felt during a hug, it becomes something memorable. Men in particular are highly sensitive to the physical cues of ease and discomfort. If your body is stiff, they will feel it as disinterest, awkwardness, or hesitation. But if your body is relaxed, if your shoulders drop, your hands rest gently, your posture leans in with softness, it signals something entirely different. It says, I'm not just tolerating this, I'm participating in it. That participation makes the hug emotionally safe, which is what allows intimacy to grow. It might sound simple, but the way your body rests into his can create a moment of emotional alignment that's difficult to forget. The beauty of a relaxed hug is that it doesn't need embellishment. There's no need to say the right thing or add dramatic flair. The act of letting your body settle into his space does all the work. It's calming, it feels intimate without being overwhelming. And more than that, it tells him he doesn't need to overthink things with you. That sense of ease, of not needing to perform, is a rare and deeply appreciated gift. People remember how they felt around someone who made them feel like they could breathe. A relaxed hug creates exactly that effect. There's also a kind of quiet sensuality in being relaxed during physical contact. You're not trying to make it seductive, yet it becomes incredibly attractive because it's real. It doesn't scream for attention, it draws it. He'll notice how at home you feel in your own body and how effortlessly that comfort extends to him. That's the kind of thing that lingers in someone's mind far after the moment has passed. Because while anyone can give a hug, very few know how to create emotional gravity inside it by simply relaxing into it and allowing the energy between two people to flow naturally. Eye contact is one of the most powerful tools of emotional communication, especially when it follows a moment of physical closeness like a hug. It's in that brief window after the hug ends, but before the space between you widens, where real connection can deepen without a single word being spoken. Making eye contact right after the hug doesn't just acknowledge the moment you shared, it reinforces it. It's a silent echo that says that meant something to me and invites him to feel the same. Most people quickly avert their gaze, shift their attention elsewhere, or fill the space with nervous chatter. But holding that eye contact for even a second longer than usual transforms the interaction into something unforgettable. When you maintain eye contact, you're showing that you're not afraid of intimacy, you're not hiding, you're allowing yourself to be seen, and in turn, you're seeing him. That mutual recognition, however brief, leaves an impression. There's a unique emotional intensity that exists in that silence. You don't need to rush to explain it or justify it. You just let it be. The vulnerability of sustained eye contact creates an energetic thread that ties the hug to something deeper. It tells him you're present, confident, and emotionally available. This moment of eye contact also gives him the space to feel. After a physical connection, the emotional impact can be subtle and even unconscious. But when you look at him, you give him permission to process that closeness. It's like saying, I'm still here with you, even after the touch has ended. That continuation of presence is incredibly rare and deeply magnetic. He might not know why he keeps thinking about that hug, but it's often this post-hug eye contact that locks it into memory. It's also a way to assert feminine strength in a quiet, grounded way. You're not chasing him, not demanding attention, but you're commanding presence. There's a soft power in looking someone in the eyes after a vulnerable moment and staying calm, still, and open. It's a subtle form of leadership in emotional connection, guiding the tone, setting the rhythm, and showing through your gaze that you're secure enough to remain in the moment without flinching. That kind of emotional steadiness is captivating. It's the opposite of desperation. It's poise. The beauty of this type of connection is that it doesn't require a performance. In fact, the more natural and effortless the eye contact feels, the more powerful it becomes. You're not trying to hold his gaze in a dramatic or intense way. You're simply meeting him there with sincerity, warmth, and a quiet interest. It's not about proving anything or pushing a feeling. It's about allowing a shared moment to settle into both of you, letting that space speak on its own, letting your eyes say what words don't need to, letting him feel that even after the hug ends, your emotional presence is still with him. A smile carries emotional weight far beyond what we often realize. When it follows a hug, especially a meaningful one, it becomes the exclamation point to everything that was just felt. A warm, grounded smile isn't just about showing friendliness or politeness. It's a message, a signal, a moment of emotional clarity that tells him you're not only physically present, but emotionally open. After a hug, when your eyes meet his and you offer that soft, authentic smile, you're communicating that you enjoyed the moment, that you're at ease, and that you're not afraid of connection. It lingers. It sinks in. It creates emotional afterglow, which makes the memory of the hug more potent and lasting. The power of the smile lies in its authenticity. It can't be rushed, forced, or performed. The smile that creates emotional imprint is the one that comes naturally when you feel something real, even if that something is quiet and simple. It doesn't need to be wide or dramatic. In fact, the smaller and more subtle it is, the more intimate it can feel. It suggests that the moment mattered to you, that you were affected by it, and that you're letting that emotion rise to the surface in the form of softness. That softness is incredibly magnetic. It's calming, grounding, and deeply attractive, not in a flashy way, but in a way that speaks directly to emotional intelligence and connection. Many people move too quickly out of a hug, breaking the moment with nervous laughter or looking away too soon. But when you take that breath, look at him, and allow a genuine smile to form, you're not rushing out of the connection. You're honoring it. You're letting him see how the moment touched you. That openness is rare. It disarms him, especially if he's used to interactions that feel surface level or guarded. A woman who can confidently let emotion live in her smile shows a level of self-awareness and comfort that's incredibly appealing. She doesn't need to over-express or hold back. She simply lets herself be felt. That grounded smile also creates a safe emotional landing. If the hug stirred something deeper in him, something he's not used to feeling, it helps him process that emotion, signals that he doesn't need to panic or retreat, that everything's okay, that you're not expecting anything but you're present. And presence is what people crave most, not control, not strategy, just a genuine moment where someone smiles at them and lets that be enough. The timing of the smile matters too. It's not immediate, it's not strategic, it comes when you've released the hug, met his eyes, and let the emotional energy settle for a second. That timing adds gravity to the smile. It says that the moment landed with you, and now you're letting that feeling radiate outward. It becomes an invitation, not a demand, for him to feel something too. He may not understand what made the hug unforgettable, but that smile will echo in his mind far after the moment is over.